Good morning, everybody. Oh, my my stream PC crashed when I was at work. The clock was stuck at 5:54 a.m. So that's when it crashed. Oh, I gotta actually fix some stuff. Totally forgot about that. I need to do that whenever I have to restart the computer. Honestly, I probably should just stop the refresh that, refresh the mix it up overlay, capture card I gotta deactivate and then reactivate. Alright. That looks good. Let's double check to see if the mix it up overlay is working.
Yes.
Yep, it's working.
Did I stutter?
Alright. Alright. So now a resupply happened. Let's collect those. Cool. I am actually pretty damn close, although I should wait until I have enough to buy. So this is most important. And then after that I have enough to buy this. And I have this afterwards, and I can buy this. And I have to save 30,000. And this is probably like 35,000. And I probably should get those too. That's whatever. And I already did those. So this is the last day of this Gunsmoke. Alright, alright. We're in the 5%. So that is enough to get the best rewards. And okay, sign in reminder. Yeah, 2 people could do this freeze debuff, which would help Klukai out. Alright, here we go. You have to be there. That can be back a bit. I can go back like here. Yeah, that way Suomi will be the closest. And here we go. And then end. And then she will shoot. She has to shoot first. Alright. You drop this, because this will actually give him defense debuff. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but the damage is all carried by Klukai anyway. This way. And you go this way. And then end action. And Suomi goes. Just get to 2,400 as much as possible.
良いのか？了解。ごめん。これならどう？了解。期待はするなよ。呼び声だ。よい。その従ってくれ。今だ。その
All right. He's ready to go.
ないわ。交代するのは今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。
Alright. Let's put this down. Actually, no. Yeah, I still got an action support there to use. Oh yeah. No buff, so we'll put her here. How much would this do? 55? How much is it from where she is? 56. How much she goes right here? What would that be? 55. Looks like 55 is the best I could do. I mean, that's still 10. She can go like this. And then we hit it with this. She's ready to go. First,
待はするなよ。
He has a buff ready to go.
これは決意の重さだ。逃がしません。
All right. That.
ごめん。これがあなたの最後の輝き。逃げられると思うな。了解。どうってことないわ。従ってくれ。ごめん。それがしと守る。これならどうだ。どうってことないわ。
I still did not have enough.
現実を知りなさい。
That's Nordstrom. Skater Brothers, Jesus. Wait, Where we at with it? He has a shield on, so gotta take care of that first.
落ちた。隕石のように逃げられると思うな。了解。期待はするなよ。
6 turn.
今だ。どうってことないわ。交代するのは今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。交代するのは今のうちよ。 良いのか。配置完了。逃げられると思う。了解。期待はするなよ。了解。
So she went. No buff.
用意。良いのか。従ってくれ。わかりました。
I can't do it this turn? Ugh. Well, rip. What do we got going on? She has 2 turns.
了解。ごめん。星々を。逃げられると思うな。了解。期待はするなよ。それがしが守る。どうってことないわ。はい。良いのか。訓練の成果ね。交換するなら今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。交換するなら今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。
Oh.
そのごめん。完了。よい。期待はするなよ。ごめん。逃げられると思うな。よい。 なんてことない勝利だが、休む理由にはちょうどいいだろ。
Alright, we're gonna do this. Increases AoE damage by 12. Oh, no, not that. And that. Cheetah. And who else did I do? So I use... Oh my gosh. That Klukai. Oh yeah, it's Papishka. That's right. That's right. Actually, no, I did this wrong. I'm gonna restart this. So, actually doing her here. Alright. Here we go. You know what? I forgot to do set my social stream. Ah! Alright, let's go to my stream on Rumble and double check the chat real quick. I got another. Alright. My channels. And then, no, I think I just do this. I don't see it on my YouTube. There we go. And oops, go that way. We're gonna go this way. Hit it again. And
訓練の成果ね。引っ張らないでよ。上げていくよ。眠い。これも何だってえい。突撃。訓練の成果ね。交代するなら今のうちよ。ないわ。
alright.
引っ張らないでよ。お手伝いしましょう。見て見て。えい。
That much. Alright.
こっちこっち。えい。気をつけて。さよなら。 成果ね。引っ張らないでよ。突撃。
We're gonna shoot that guy. Alright.
了解。
Alright.
訓練の成
I
果。
think just doing this.
交換するのは今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。
Let's do it again.
交換するのは今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。
Hmm.
こっちこっち。団結。ぎゅっ。一等今です。
Alright. Alright. Did I get a buff? No, I did not get a buff. But, hey, Jules! And this is taking... Okay, I can do this. Wait, is this? No. Okay. Just getting my last gun smoke done. And this is the last gun smoke until the next gun smoke.
どうってことないわ。
Well, that's on you. I mean, you should do them just so you can get the reputation, so you can build Papushka up. Cause she worth it.
こっちこっち。
All right. Well, that it be what it be. Yeah. All right.
訓練の成果。
Here we go.
交換するのは今のうち。
So how's it been? Are you feeling better? Are you still feeling under the weather? Yeah.
どうってこと
I
ない
mean, it's pretty basic. It's honestly boring at this point.
今のうちよ。
Like, I really wish you only had to do it once, and then you could just, like, quick play it the rest. Like, you would want to replay it if you felt you could do better, but you have the option of just getting your best score. Or something like that. So I don't have to keep on wasting, like, a half an hour to an hour doing this. I was really tired, going... when I went to work. I actually, like, slept, I don't know, 2 different, I like took a nap for a half an hour twice at work. Alright. He has a buff, but I can just move Cheetah. I can move Cheetah. Oh, no, I don't want to move Cheetah. Yeah, her buff is not up yet. But I'll do her buff today. This round. Buff. And then... how is... she's good, but I need to remove the buff first. So... alright. So the buff is gone, so now we go back and forth. Look at that damage. 44,000. But after I get done with Gunsmoke, then it's back to doing Fate again. And I'm actually gonna try. I think it's just like there's one more fight to do, and I'm done. I also have to put together by Monday. I should put together my diagram. I want to show this artist who's supposed to be doing my background, so that I can correctly explain it. Because there's going to be a few layers to. I want it broken up into layers, like different sections are layered and stuff like that. So we'll see what he says. I have to make it first. What is it? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 layers to it. 4 layers that I want him to handle. Okay, this does have a buff. I'm gonna buff her first. And then we move her over here. And she'll shoot. And I'll get rid of the buff. We go back and forth again. And then back we go. Back and forth, back and forth. Alright, yeah, sorry for not being here much, but I gotta go sleep. Alright, well, you get some sleep, feel better. Hope you feel better. Have a good sleep. So it's just the cat left. Cat spin. Well, last turn.
引っ張らないでよ。上げていくよ。眠い。訓練の成果ね。
Oh, we'll just do that. Doesn't matter. Final turn.
ちゃっと終わらせてもらうよ。突撃。誰も犠牲にはさせません。訓練の成果ね。交換するなら今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。交換するなら今のうちよ。はっ。どうってことないわ。キュンキュン。こっちこっち。一方します。さよなら。
I just play game.
私がいれば何も心配なし。
Alright, what am I up to? Really close. Once if we get the that'll be it. We're moving on to we're actually gonna move on to the main point of today's stream. Set game Fate Grand Order. I don't know why my bit rate's all like messed up. Ugh. Right. It must be closed. What am I gonna do? let's see. Actually, I'm gonna. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, I want. We'll do Trom. I have to do like 3. Honestly, I should probably just menu. Not menu. Limited time mission. It's 3. 3. I guess could go to. Oh, it's a C. I think it was. I still. I am. Here we go. Here's arts. There we go. Actually, what is her bond at? She's maxed. Okay. There we go. Okay, Ibuki Berserker. Everything. All right. Alright. Hey Raijin. We're finishing up we're doing the final part of Lostbelt 7 here. Let me just get rid of FGA real quick.
聖杯が不足した際はぜひ
Get that
ショップの
done.
聖
And then get this done. Yep. I believe this is the final, like there's...
先輩
Yeah, the 5th son. Just me against a ruler. Time to end this. And then we do the ordeal called Prologue. And then we're good on... I'm caught up on FGO. I didn't realize that ordeal call is actually going to be like May 7th or 8th. So I was rushing this, but there's also going to be an event going on. A lottery event, which people, you should be farming that. Wait a minute now, this is where I came before I woke up in that cave. I can't see a thing and there's no one else here. I also feel strangely fulfilled. I think I'll go pay him a visit. Oh yeah, let's go to full screen mode. Worst thing is Ordeal class system. I saw it. It doesn't look that bad, I don't think. According to one interpretation of Aztec mythology, the dead were sorted into those who died in battle and those who died of natural causes. Those who died in battle were guided to the 12th of the 13th heavens, a paradise called Tet Koen. Oh, lots of class. Oh, that's... Well, I have tons of those. It's a good thing to farm the lottery events. You get tons of... I believe you get tons of... No, you get tons of, not monuments. You get tons of crystals and stuff like that. You get the class stuff. You don't, you get the class skill stuff. You don't get the class, ascension stuff. Those who died in battle were guided... Okay. Tetikoen's original region was... Oh my god. Tala Hutsulampa, the final resting place for warriors who died in battle and human sacrifices. Tetioken's western region was Kihua Lampa, the final resting place for women who died in childbirth. Tikoken's southern region was Huitsa Lampa, the bright and shining final resting place for dead children. And Tetioken's northern region was Mikalampa, a zone of peaceful repose and quiet. Mikalampa was the domain of Tezcatlipoca, the omnipotent god of war and death who demanded sacrifice. Meanwhile, there was also a separate subterranean underworld divided into 9 layers. This underworld subjected the souls of humans who died of natural causes to numerous trials in order to make them strong enough to return to the living world. That underworld was called Mictlan. Proper human history, it was a domain of 2 gods, the exceedingly cunning Mictlantecuhtli and his wife Mictlantecuhtli. These were the only gods who dealt solely with the matters of death. The Mesoamerican peoples thought people. Geez, the frickin' localization team here thought of death as a close neighbor. Thus, every god had some connection to death, regardless of what kind of god they may have been. There can be no life without death. And the question of how to explain and overcome death was one each god could answer as they chose. In that regard, there is no god more inscrutable than Tezcatlipoca. As a god of war, he would seek warriors capable of winning battles, for he saw combat as the greatest height to which people could aspire. But the souls of warriors were not led to his domain. Instead, they were led to Tezcatlipoca in the east. Even though Tezcatlipoca would plant the seeds of war, it would always be another god who would reap their harvest. Yeah. Dude got caught on my power wire. Repose and quiet. Even now, it remains unclear what might have resulted in the dead being guided to this realm. All we know for sure is that it was not a subterranean world like Mictlan or Zabalba. The best guess we have is that it was a domain for souls who had fought a great battle and had earned a good long rest. There you have it, Tezcatlipoca. Chaldea stopped Ort. Your vision of the future is no more than an illusion now. God or not, now that you've spoken a falsehood, you need to be punished. Let me go get Quetzalcoatl. I believe her domain was Quihualampa to the west, right? Damn you serious? Please, anything but that, but the bird brains bacana. That thing rattles my skull harder than a hangover. Besides, I didn't speak falsely. Ort did destroy a world, Mictlan. I just embellished what came after a little bit. It could have gone all the way if I had a little more budget to work with. Anyway, we've got a guest. Look, like it's the one you've been waiting for, David. David. I wouldn't say I was waiting for her. This is quite a detour, you know. I figured the odds were 50-50. Of course she was going to show up. She still has to get back what she pawned. Oh, so you are going to still keep up the whole master gig, fighting and all that, right, kid? Yes, I am. So if this is the border between life and death, I'm taking back my master authority. I'm going to take the first. Hang on, Tezcatlipoca. I thought Infinity had already regained her master authority. We both saw her summoning servants. Yeah, she was able to do that much. As long as she had her command spell, she could use the underworld boundary to draw on the connection she made so far. I gave those command spells to Camazotz, and she got them all back from him. But I never gave up her master authority. That I still got. I see, so it wasn't truly a fair fight after all. That explains why the woman who saved the world seems so unintimidating. Alright, let's fight. This is Mictlanpa, a realm of neither life nor death. You don't have to worry about the debt you incurred to return to life now. Here you are in perfect condition, Master. The winner will be kicked back to life, and the price that was paid returned. In your case, that would mean regaining your command spells, your master authority, and in my case, what would happen in my case, Tezcatlipoca? You come back to life with another chance. Hell, I could even return you to the moment you summoned me. Make sure Ort destroys the whole planet this time. Of course, that means you'd have to face Chaldea a second time too. We would have to repeat that year, huh? All 525,600 minutes. No, wait. That's alright. It'd only be around 30 hours. I don't get it. Why are you so hell-bent on destroying Earth? What a strange question. I'm doing this for the same reason you do what you do. It's not out of a sense of duty. It's just what I want to do. Pure self-gratification. Ha! You really are one hell of a berserker, fracturing the whole damn planet to amuse yourself, and that master there's cut from the same cloth. Alright, I'll banish whoever wins from my domain. This will be the last initiation into Aztec mythology. Don't hold back now. I want you putting everything you got into this fight. Do that, and I'll still respect the loser. Those who flee in panic, hesitate to kill, and second guess justice are cowards, not to be recognized as warriors. You shun death too much for my liking, but you survived this long while holding onto your principles, so you earn my recognition. Do I have to deal with this stupid, invincibility every turn? Master Chaldea, if you truly harbor the soul of a warrior, then I will respond as a warrior myself. I welcome all warriors, no matter what form they take. Aztec culture, only victorious warriors can receive glory and acclaim. I'm all for that. But in battle, there are losers as well as winners. The loser's effort, courage, and choices never endure. That I can't abide. Everyone who dies in battle should be met with an equal reward. That's why my domain welcomes winners and losers alike. Every soul that fought with bravery, lost miserably, and was swiftly forgotten has a home here. I recognize their accomplishments and offer them rest and tranquility. So which will you be, Infinity? Will you be a loser and go off to the paradise over the horizon to your eternal rest? Or will you be the winner and return once more to your own battle? Real talk, all Mictlan is at stake in this battle. If you win, the 7th Lostbelt will truly be finished. I will use the dawning sun, Nawi Olin, our 5th son, to bring Mictlan's story to a close. Show me your resolve. Now is the time to choose between life and death. Just because she chooses life doesn't mean she'll be able to claim it. This realm will be her final resting place. Chaldea has abused humanity far too much to be a match for the foreign god. No, Marisbury is not an enemy of humankind. He's an enemy of the entire universe. If I'm the only one who sees him for what he truly is, then I'll destroy this planet and stop humankind from becoming the greatest villains in the known universe. Your goal is to save the world. Mine is to save all of creation. We maybe both have humankind's best interests at heart, but given how different our approaches are, this conflict was inevitable. Now, get ready, Infinity. Neither of us have anything holding us back here. I challenge you not as a cryptor, but as a master. Win or lose, this is the end. Let's see how you compare to the simulation battles I imagined inside my coffin. Alright. I cannot use MASH. Alright. That'd be whatever. The question is, does he have that stupid invincibility that he had when I fought him before Ort? That is the question. There you go. Spoiler free. There we go. Boss information. Foreigner. No, that was the other one. Okay. This one. The boss hasn't used his MP for 5 turns. The boss automatically gains full MP charge and clears all the debuffs. Sure hit, immobilizing debuff. Alright, yeah, I got ruler with force. Okay. So. Oh. Alright, where is... Not by login, let's do it by level. We want the bond. And then I cannot use MASH though. Right, let's see what teams I got. This is Caster Coup. That's a Buster team. That's also a Buster team. Girl Vinci. Use this team. This team and... Yeet. Get rid of her. I need... Use NS. Who do I put in there? Be someone cheap. Yes, that's still too much. So freaking lame. Has to be like a 3-star one. What do we got for 3 stars? I don't think you can get any 3 stars that give me bond. Hopefully we'll make it to that. Alright. Oh, you can't use the tea... Or do I not have any teapots? This is where you would select the teapots, isn't it? Must have ran out of my teapots must have expired. That's kind of the lame thing about teapots, is that like they expire. Alright, so we got that. He has this one. MP close. Oh no. I might as well just get rid of her. Yeah, bond is 5. But there's one that like gives me more master. This one right here gives me master XP. I guess I could I could put Art Rosh in there. I don't know, that's not gonna do much. Hopefully we won't get there. Hopefully she'll be enough. That's weird. Well, there was no teapot option. I know there were some teapots. Some teapots were, temporary. They had a cooldown on them. So that worked. She has a bait on her. Well, let's see how this goes. He's only 250k, so I think this is gonna be easy. Especially since he's a servant, and she has that bonus damage against servants. Yeah, that was 928. Cool. I'll do that again. Here we go again. There we go again. 1.2 million. He ignores invisible now. Forgot about that. Ow. Damn. He kicked her around pretty good. But should I do this or should I do... Yeah, let's do this. Good. No Eris this time. That's gonna suck for regenning. Hopefully it doesn't go too hard on one of the Castorias. So I have all my regen.
再び国を開き固めん。雨の鏡の船。
Holy cow, this damage. 1.6 million.
そこです。そこです。
Final boss.
とてもいい煙る鏡ややうきテスカトリポか
Oh boy.
テスカトリ
Alright, that's cool. Just keep on beating up Eris.
ポやおいする
Alright, well, she's good.
カウメ
Alright, so what does this do? Gain resistance to normal attacks. Alright, that's fine.
要請運命をかけた戦いであれば
That.
の時また輝きを 最果ての島罪の都最後の竜は我が胸にいかなる滅びにも我らは屈せず集う円卓の守護者たちラウンド・オブ・アバロン これなるは少なびこなより借り受け冥界を渡り来たる鞘舟常世打ちを行き返り世のほどろ裂いて再び国を開き固めん雨の鏡の船
Drives fully once, charges bars by 3.
おごるな騙すな見えすいている
Alright, he's back. Everyone's stunned. Now I get to go again. I think. Oh wait. I get his NP. Alright. If you want me to do this again, I'll do it again.
最果ての島罪の都最後の竜は我が胸に
That's a really funny way to end it. He's just like, alright, I'm gonna make it so you have to NP. I'm like, that's what I've been doing the whole entire time. But this will help me a lot with the bond for Anastasia. Get my bond up there with Anastasia. 名言なる勝利を刻めラウンド・オブ・アバロン これなるは少なびこなより借り受け冥界を渡り来たる鞘舟常世打ちを行き返り世のほどろ裂いて再び国を開き固めん Alright. That was easy. This is what happens when you have a level 120 Eris. Oh, I thought that was a lot. You get a lot more from this. Or was that from the final fight of Ort? It must have been Ort's final fight. That was... Yeah, you get 10,000 bond points from the final Ort fight. Ah! Oh well. I'll just have to... I would do my bond farming. Well, Bazette got a lot. Knew it. In a competition between masters, you have the upper hand. So, why did you have to fight for servants all by yourself, Test Catlapoca? You're a god. Couldn't you have called in some subordinates or something? Maybe chain summon a few Jaguar warriors? Oh well, it is what it is. Now that I've lost, I'd best be on my way. Was Orc really the only way to fight the foreign god? Yes, it was. I can't form trusting relationships the way you can. By the time I figured out Chaldea's identity when I was working on Team A, I was far too late to stop it. Chaldea's was a complete planet by then. No one could possibly destroy it. I tried threatening Marisbury, hoping I could make him put a stop to his plan. Instead, he killed himself. He said if the choice was between his own life and his plan for the preservation of humanity, there was nothing even to think about. In that moment, I had no choice but to go along with his plan. No outsider could ever destroy Chaldea's. The only one who could ever have a chance had to be the members of Chaldea. And that's your group. Me, I choose to remain a cryptor. But fighting the old Chaldea as part of the new Chaldea never occurred to me. Novum Chaldea. That's an excellent name. Excellent name. David, wait. Knock it off. You're gonna deny him a graceful exit too now? Just see him off. Mick Lampa is a good place for him now. Don't worry. My paradise might be one hell of a dream spa, but it's not eternal. Once he's rested up, I'm gonna have him fight again. This time he'll be on the winning side. When you get right down to it, this place is a rest stop. Meant to help warriors prepare for their next battle. Wait, hold up. I don't have my Master Authority back. Oh right, almost forgot. Go on then, take it. This is the form I used to trade you for it, so it's only right that I use this form to return it to. Alright, time for me to get going too. It's a shame we were on opposing sides this time. Then again, maybe it was for the best. I'm not much for self-restraint. If we'd been allies, I would wound up shooting you in the back of the head. As a rule, I lend my aid to everyone who's fighting for something, but I was really betting on David here. I mean, his vision for mass destruction was on a whole other level. I've watched entire nations die out more times than I can count, so of course I'm the kind of guy who's going to get my hopes up. But don't get me wrong, there's no such thing as a cataclysmic battle that destroys everything. You might have ended Mechlin, but you didn't destroy it. You heard how extinction happens repeatedly in Aztec mythology, right? Then you should have also heard that afterwards some things always do come back to life. Even if a country or civilization falls or is destroyed, something will keep on living. Something no one can erase. Do you know what that something is? It's what the Dinos said was bigger than them. That's right, kid. The Dinos were servant of time. If any of them show up in my paradise, I'll let them know that their friend was one hell of a gal. You people tend to see time as something to be measured, but it's really something that accumulates. That's all it needs to be valuable. Whether you die or your country is destroyed, time isn't going anywhere. Humans like to think of themselves as passengers riding the flow of time, but it's really the other way around. The fact is, time is the passenger. Humans are the current that carries it. Remember this, Infinity. Humans aren't the only ones marking the passage of time. There's the time humans observe, the time recorded by machines, the time for matter to wear down, the time for planets to cool. As long as any of those exist, our world will never die out, nor will there be any permanent end. Sure, some things will be lost, but even when everyone on this planet has outlived their usefulness, time will keep on marching on into the future forever. Should have brought Anastasia on that final orc fight. I thought it was this fight. Which was the 10,000 bond. Let me actually see.
Yeah.
Is she maxed? Okay. No, I need two more. That's the problem. She's not fully ascended because I need the last I need 2 more of those scales, which I have to wait until I unlock the free quest for. Which is what I'm gonna farm! Once I get done with this. That's what I'm gonna spend the rest of my AP on. So I do have to farm. There's so many materials I didn't even see what what does the... Okay, where is it? I need to find the wiki FGO page. Where'd that go? Did I close it? Oh, Senpai, you're awake. I just woke up not too long ago myself. Our battle in the 7th Lostbelt is over. After we both collapsed on deck, we were carried to the ICU and slept there while they spent an hour checking our vitals. That's right. Fortunately, you're both in good health, and I didn't see any signs of cellular damage from the cosmic rays. You can head back to your rooms now. Your belongings and Mystic Code are right over there. Oh, but make sure to stop by the command room first. Commander Goldolf wants to speak with you again. Oh no, thank you. The only reason I'm able to practice my medical duties now. Well, the only reason the Stormboard is safe at all is you two. You should be proud. Oh, but that's not me giving you permission to be reckless. You may be feeling better, but you're not yet fully recovered. So as soon as you're done speaking with the commander, bed rest. Understood? Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking care of us. See you later. The one Nemo who's female. You're finally done with your checkups. It seems you're no worse for wear. Not that I was especially worried. I can't say the same for the staff, though. So before I get started, I suggest you say something to all of them. Nice try, Gordy. But who was it that was checking with the ICU every 5 minutes? I'm quite certain it was not us, since we can't listen to the reports from the ICU whenever we like, you know. Hey Doc, was it you perhaps? Oh please, Kyrie Light, I can understand, but why would I ever worry about Infinity? You know, she's just gonna waltz back here like nothing happened. It'd be a total waste of my magical circuits worrying about her. And we're in contact with Nurse, so we don't have to open the line at all. Same goes for Captain, of course. Wasn't me, I don't even know how to use a damn gizmo. Besides, if MASH is okay, Infinity is bound to be okay too, right? So I was just waiting for them to show up, like a boss, wasn't I? Ooh. Woo-hoo! I see that the lost... Then the 7th Lostbelt must really be gone now, because food disappeared during the whole entire 7th Lostbelt. Yikes. They've got a, what they call a preponderance of evidence here. You didn't get so much as a nibble. Guess that means you were the only one getting all impatient, huh, Chubbs? I can't believe you all conspiring against me even now. Now you will even look me in the eye. Drat. I guess this means I was the only one who didn't have faith. Didn't have faith in what, sir? There is still the matter of you, Olga Marie, who seemingly disappeared when she fired the ray proof. The foreign god's true identity. We were always going to have to face these issues once you woke up, whether you like it or not. I was prepared for the two of you to be so distraught you couldn't even stand. But here you are, looking like you always do. I'm glad to see our master has truly toughened up. It's not that, Commander Goldoff. The only reason Senpai and I are able to keep our heads high is because you're still your usual selves. Exactly, so all we want is for you to wrap things up like you always do. I see. Very well then. Let's get down to business. The 7th Lostbelt's Tree of Emptiness have all been purged. The subterranean world is now normal ground once again. We have also confirmed that the readings for David Semvoid, the Cryptor, and his servant Tezcat Lapoka have vanished. As such, we have concluded that the 7th Lostbelt is fully excised and our mission complete. Sincere congratulations on a job well done, everyone. However, even with all 7 Lostbelts now excised, we now face a new conundrum. According to David, the planet the foreign god hails from is in fact Chaldea's. So, to give us a chance to determine the truth for ourselves, the Stormboarder will be setting course for Chaldea Base in Antarctica. I'm sure this will feel like a homecoming for many of you. but I urge you to be cautious nonetheless. I have a hunch where we'll find answers to the questions that still remain. For example, what purpose do the Tree of Emptiness serve? What is the bleached earth phenomenon meant to achieve? And what were former director Marisbury Animosphere true intention when he created Chaldeus? Regardless of what these answers may be, our task remains the same. The future of proper human history still rests on our shoulders. It is up to us, Novum Chaldea, to unravel the secrets of the original Chaldea. Yeah! That's what I like to hear. Seeing all of you so fired up makes me proud to be your commander. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I imagine you're all exhausted beyond belief from your all-out war with Ort. For my part, I'm just about at my limit. I desperately need a good rest for both my physical and mental health. So what do you say we all enjoy some long overdue R&R together? Health is wealth, you know. Okay, the Marines have all gone back to their rooms. And I've set the Stormboarder to cruise around on autopilot for a bit. I think I'll go back to the captain's quarter and... Infinity? Shouldn't you be in the cafeteria? I thought Mash and the others were already there. I know, but... First... I wanted to give this to you, Captain. What's this ball? Well, you see... I still have some preparations to make, so please go back to the border without me. I'll meet you at the castle gate. Even I've never been past the 7th stratum, so I'm looking forward to the adventure that lies ahead. Oh, and one more thing. I have something of a favor to ask of you. Would you please give this to Captain Nemo? It's the Exalta ball I made for Marine. I was planning to keep it, a precious memento of sorts, but there's a very good chance I won't ever come back here. I know I may have no right after how insensitive I was to him. Even so, I don't ever want to forget how he trusted me, helped me. Most of all, I don't want to forget how strong he was to the very end. So for all those reasons, I'd like you to please give this to Captain. I hope it will serve as proof that, even though we come from different worlds and species, we're still great friends. Captain? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. I think I might just look kind of pathetic right now, that's all. Okay, I've calmed down. That's the gift from Tipu, right? Huh? Of course I'll accept it. I don't remember why, but I do know the Marines love soccer. Now go on to the cafeteria. I'll join you once I'm done taking care of things here. Okay, I'll see you later, then. You bet I'll remember. Even if your world, or even this very gift, disappears along with your Lostbelt, I'll never forget your 66 million year subterranean journey, or that wonderfully peaceful paradise teeming with life. Goodbye, Tipu, and thank you for being my friend. Money Archer. Well, well, here to see them off for Money Archerman? If humankind actually succeeds in excising all 7 Lostbelts, then and only then will I recognize you as enemies. So how are you feeling now that it's actually happened? Assume by enemies, you didn't mean your own enemies, but enemies of Chaldeas. That's right. I didn't think it was possible for those claiming to represent Chaldea to see Chaldeas as a threat, even if they learned the truth. Sweeping the darker parts of their organization under the rug is only human nature, I suppose. But it seems Novum Chaldea is not the Chaldea I knew. It would appear they are a wholly new organization dedicated to the preservation of humanity, one that firmly stands against Marisbury's Grand Order. I see, that is indeed a grave matter. The plan using the foreign planet only accounted for having them excise all the Lostbelts. I don't think it was ever expected that he would organize to oppose that plan afterward. Seems I'll need to hurry back to receive my next orders. What about the foreign god? Aren't you going to compensate for her loss? As far as I can tell, her spear origin may have shattered, but some still remain. It'd be a soulless, inferior thing, but you could technically restore it if you gathered up its remains. That's not my job. Personally, I believe she's earned a rest. But I also suspect the Count will make cruel use of her, especially since he has nothing better to do. And I was right. There are 7 foreign disciples. 3 to supervise and guide the cryptors, the priest, the Atlas Killer, and the incarnation of evil. 3 to supervise and lead Chaldea, the detective, the professor, and the Count. Which the detective was, Holmes. Finding the leader, the god. Though I doubt Olga Marie ever realized that she herself was also a servant. She didn't need to know that. In the end, she was no more than an anomalous god born on a foreign planet. She is better off dying gloriously in battle, never knowing the truth. That's risk coming from you, who arranged the whole thing. But no matter, there are only 2 disciples left now, including yourself. Will you be able to stop Chaldea? Of course. Why else would I let their ship go on its merry way? That being said, we won't be the ones to actually stop them. They'll do a fine job of getting in their own way. Unless they find a way to account for their sins, they'll soon find themselves on a trial with humanity itself sitting in judgment. That's Ordeal call. Bond level limit released, so she can now go up to Bond 9. Yay. I have her in the idol outfit. And I got a Holy Grail. The name and rank of Kulkin's class skill has been changed to Archetype Ort. Craft essence, that faraway night has been sent to your present box. Let's read that. They're always so touching. Like the story of them. My only friends were Tapu and you, the sun, who always watched over me. But our lives were more filled with twists and turns and love than any other form of humanity. After 66 million years, we finally became humankind, just like you, aiming for the same sky, to the beyond. This is a painting of bygone days, a tiny special something that came into being in that sea of trees, where everyone was treated with equal value and respect. 2 people watching the ancient stars fall. And you're the painter, drawing our adventure in which we traveled, wherever we pleased, while repeating our mistakes. Forgetting that everyone is the same, and is treated the same. Alright, so here we go. Ordeal called Prologue. I believe this is not too long. We're approaching the Antarctic Sorrel. Trismegistus predicts no danger today. That means we can relax and not worry about enemy interference, at least until we reach Chaldea base. So, at least remain alert as we prepare for arrival. Can't believe we're finally going back to Chaldea base. First, there is something I would like to say. This is a separate matter from Chaldea's, which we now know to be the foreign planet. My analysis of test subject E is complete. Would you like to hear my report, Commander Goldoff? Oh, right. We still had the issue to deal with too. Frankly, I'm well past my limit for crazy revelations, but not hearing you out certainly won't help matters. Very well, you may give your report. Get on with it then. Then I'll begin with the data I was able to analyze. I can now confirm that the mysterious laboratory our field agents Infinity Mesh and Kadak infiltrated was in fact a research facility that also existed in our world. As many know, there is a facility in Nevada's Area 51 dedicated to the clandestine study of UFOs and extraterrestrials. While field agents were not able to verify the exact equipment used at the facility during their visit, Prasmiskus 2 was able to use the data Mash Ortenex recorded to confirm that the facility was 99% match for Area 51. This means TSWE was being kept at a facility from proper human history. Yeah, that tracks. That place might have been in the middle of a huge singularity, but it was too out of place as a building. That makes sense. The singularity spawned from that operating room. Yeah, I agree. It also ties into our theory on who the master behind that singularity was. That is, the one who summoned a whole mess of servants. The way I see it, that room was the only part of that singularity that belonged to proper human history. Or at least, it belonged to a celestial body that was as close to proper human history as it could possibly be. I might even go so far as to theorize that the facility itself was located in Chaldeas, Nevada. You think that facility was inside Chaldeas? Then is that why the corridor looked like it was in outer space, because we were actually traveling between planets? That's my guess, yes. Displacement magecraft is absolutely a thing. For example, let's say we have two Gordies here, Gordie A and Gordie B. Assuming they have the exact same composition and volume of data, displacement magecraft would let us swap them out instantly, no matter how far apart they might be. And the reason for that is, of course, because they're completely indistinguishable to a third party. Only the Gordies being displaced would know they've been swapped. Heck, in some circumstances, even they might be none the wiser. When something supernatural occurs without having a noticeable impact on the world, that's when you know magecraft has done its job really well. Indeed, this particular kind of magecraft is theoretically possible, and it would be exponentially more difficult on a larger target. If memory serves, I believe I heard an old mage family unaffiliated with the clock tower was studying it. Also, please don't use me as an example from now on. The idea of waking up one day and having A or B appended to my name is the sort of thing that keeps me up at night. Displacement, swapping out. Could that have been what bleached Earth in an instant? Do you think Chaldea's surface and Earth's surface were swapped out? Chaldea's is obviously much smaller than Earth, but since it contains a copy of the Earth's soil, that does essentially make it identical. Since Chaldea's volume of data and soul composition are the same as Earth, their surface could well be swapped, regardless of the difference in size. Honestly, I was always more puzzled by how Earth was bleached than how it looked after the fact. I mean, it's just not possible to instantly destroy this entire civilization on a planet's surface without harming the planet itself. If you're saying if they were just swapping the planet's surface out for one that was already bleached, that would be a different story. Right, which would also mean that our world, the original Earth, is still safe and sound on Chaldeas. So if we can restore Chaldeas and the Earth's relationship to the way it was, then your future will continue on the path it was meant to. So everything could go back to the way it was, huh? Human history can pick right up where it left off in 2019, when Earth was wiped clean. But hang on, Chaldeas is supposed to be simulating Earth 100 years from now. And that would mean the lab we saw was from 2119. But then that, everything about that lab, including the technology, seemed identical to what we would expect to see in 2019. So you're saying it is too old to be from 2119, right? I found that strange as well. Determined rather quickly that it was on Chaldea, but it certainly did not look like cutting-edge technology from 2019. And yet the data we have on TSWE clearly showed that it died a few days ago. Since the place it occupied was on Chaldea, that would mean it died in the year 2119. But the level of technology in that lab is the same as that of 2019. I was for a time concerned that I would not be able to explain this discrepancy. Maybe they just couldn't update the equipment for some reason. Precisely, difficult as it may be to believe, because one wonders why something so ridiculous could happen, and indeed what did happen. Given the gap of 100 years, the only sensible explanation is that the equipment could not be updated. Huh? Is that even possible? Most likely, this is an ode to extenuating circumstances of some kind. For example, they may have had a budget or personnel shortfalls. Proper human history, Area 51 secret facility was shut down around 2001. And their research budget was drastically reduced. So most likely explanation is that same facility on Chaldeas ran into the same kind of trouble. But that's definitely one possibility. Securing an adequate budget is one of the biggest and most important issues facing research efforts. There's one big difference between the lab on Earth and the one on Chaldeas Test Subject E. The fact that an alien life form existed in the lab on Chaldeas means Chaldeas' version of Earth must have achieved something proper human history hasn't. In which case, I expect there'd be plenty of funds made available for this lab in the national budget. It means there must have been some sort of trouble. That need not detain us at the moment, so let's move on. The corpse we found in the operating room had this exact same biological composition as us. Despite this, Transmetis 2 did not recognize that corpse as human from Earth. No, it is not that it did not. It could not. Even with the same data values, there was something different about it. And because of that error in logic, Transmetis 2 was unable to come to a final conclusion on Test Subject E. Instead, it just got stuck on the phase wherein it labeled the object as human. So once I set that conclusion aside and focused exclusively on analyzing the situation, a great deal of information became clear very quickly. Data point 1. Test Subject E is a human from the version of Earth in Chaldeas. Data point 2. If the bleached Earth phenomenon is actually Chaldeas' surface, then Chaldeas humans have all died out. Data point 3. The equipment used in the lab on Chaldeas Earth were antiques. And all of the technology developed between 2019 and 2119 is no longer functional. This can be assumed from the remnants of the building still extant on the bleached Earth. Any machinery that could operate on such a world would have to be at least 100 years old. Simple combustion engines like those used in motorcycles would also likely still function. So those are the facts I was able to ascertain from Test Subject E. If we took those into consideration, when asking why Test Subject E became a master, why they summoned so many servants, and why they spawned such a huge singularity, everything points to revenge. The Chaldeas Earth was bleached. We may not know how it happened, but we can figure out why. Chaldeas Earth was bleached so its surface could be swapped out with our Earth's. Test Subject E knew that. That's why they gave their servants those urges. And they wanted to take revenge on proper human history for destroying their world. Test Subject E was aware they were the last members of Chaldeas as humankind. That made them the sole representative of all Chaldeas as human life. In fact, that's the only explanation for how they were able to summon that many servants. Otherwise, there's just no way one person could possibly summon so many. It must have been the collective will of every human who died on Chaldeas that made the summoning of servants in such numbers possible. It also explains why they had so many command spells. It must have been all the collected command spells from every human on Chaldeas with the master potential. And that would mean that the corpse was a nameless regular person who found themselves responsible for the future of all humankind. Just like you, Infinity. But that would mean if you are seeing this file, then you must have also acquired information on Test Subject E. While it should be your job to analyze it and determine what it is, I've decided to be generous and make things a little easier for you. Test Subject E is not a terrestrial being. It is the remnants of a being humanity secreted away, probed, and experimented upon in that facility over 100 years ago. I believe its cries of agony as it lies dying are what drew that foreign god, its compatriots here. Wait, hold on, just a damn minute. I do feel bad for what happened to Chaldeas Earth, but there was nothing we could have done about it. We have nothing to feel actual guilt for there. More importantly though, I'd like to get to the timeline straight. According to the reports I read, Infinity first came to Chaldeas in 2017. Chaldeas was already at the point where the future of humankind could not be observed. so is that when Chaldeas was the first bleached? No, it wasn't. The light civilization had died out here and there because of Singularity F. But other than that, Chaldeas' surface was the same as Earth's. It was Sheba that said it couldn't preserve human history or observe it beyond 2018. We can all vouch for that. And honestly, given what happened with the incineration of humanity and the bleached Earth phenomenon, it makes sense that Sheba will come to that conclusion. So Chaldea's Earth must have been bleached sometime after the incineration of humanity was resolved. So that would also mean Chaldeas was deceiving us in 2019, back when we were undergoing special processing. So Chaldeas was operating normally until the race shift experiment in 2017. Or I suppose it had yet to reveal its true villainous nature, which would mean it didn't foresee Solomon's incineration of humanity. In fact, if it hadn't been for that, this plan would probably have been put into action at the end of 2018. Certainly safe to say that Solomon, well, Boeotia's machinations threw off Mayor Sperry's schedule. So perhaps, if not for Singularity F, the surface of Chaldeas and Earth would have swapped places sooner. Good point. The explosions in the command room definitely wasn't part of Director Mayor Sperry's plan. So what happened afterwards is another part of what led to our present, very strange circumstances. Something must have gone awry when Let dropped Olga Marie into Chaldeas. That is all the information I can tell you about the test subject E. Fortunately, this analysis has revealed at least 80% of Chaldeas' intended purpose. We now know that it was always meant to swap its Earth, that is its human history, for ours. And that it was the intention of Chaldeas' creator, former director of Chaldea, Marisbury Animsphere, that this happened. Of course, that leads us to the next problem we need to consider. Why would he do such a thing? Yeah, what would he hope to gain from bleaching Earth? Completely agree. Neither I nor Transmestus 2 were able to arrive at an answer to this query. Boeotia wanted to create undying life in a planet without death. Kirstaria wanted to evolve all of humankind. David said he wanted to destroy Chaldeas to salvage humankind's reputation, even if it meant destroying Earth along with it. I may not agree with their reasons for doing what they did, but I can still understand them. But bleaching all of Earth, that I cannot understand. I cannot see what the ultimate goal could be. Maybe he was just fed up with humanity and wanted to cleanse Earth by getting rid of it. No, Marisbury wasn't that kind of person. He wasn't a nihilist, or even a pessimist. He was a good mage who loved seeing humans prosper, who wanted to push our collective knowledge even further. I bet, if he wasn't a genuinely good guy, King Solomon would never have answered his summons during the Fiuki Holy Grail War. So it's safe to say Marisbury was definitely a good mage. The problem is, there are quite a few shades of good. Whatever Marisbury's goal was, it must have been something extreme enough that we never think of it, like David's. Yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, we're talking about a clock tower lord here. There's no telling how much his vision of prospering might have differed from ours. Yeah, so right now all we figured out is Chaldeas' current condition and the fact that our Earth is safe. But we should find all the answers once we get to Antarctica. How much farther, Nemo? Funny you should ask. We're actually just about to enter the Antarctic Circle now. I'm not seeing any obstructions. We should reach... hello. He's saying, I don't see any obstructions. As a wall just suddenly shoots up. We should reach Chaldea's beast in... Oh, wall dead ahead. Full reverse. Hard to port. All hands brace for impact. Did you guys see that? Sheba did not even warn us. I detect no hostile signal or gravity field. And yet, we're still being repelled. What kind of air pressure could possibly keep the storm border away? Damn it, I should have known it wouldn't be that simple. Is it the foreign god? No. Is it Chaldeus itself? What's going on, technical advisor? I don't know. There's nothing unusual going on in Antarctica at all. This barrier sprung up on its own. No, it didn't. Everyone, I think this is a wall of humanity. I recognize this defense. It's the same force that powers Sir Galahad's noble phantasm, Lord Camelot. That means the preservation of humanity itself is protecting the Antarctic. I've done a lap around the Antarctic, and that wall surrounds the entire region. We can't get past it with the Stormboard's dimension-piercing drill or Shadow Boar's zero sail. I don't know why, but all our attempts are being repelled. Nothing works. I've never seen a wall like this before. Because it's entirely formless, we have no way to break through. Every special navigational technique we try fails. I have no idea how it works or why it's doing this. Unbelievable. Our destination is right in front of us, and we can't even get near it. Technical advisor. Eltnam. Is there anything we can do? Surely you must have at least analyzed it by now, right? I'm sorry, but I'm completely bewildered too. What is this? Some kind of prank? Right? The thing pops up whenever we approach, then disappears when we move away. It's completely denying us any way to get through, but it's also barely damaging the ship at all. I can't even figure out what's powering it. I think I preferred the storm walls. If it's just like Lord Camelot, then... Of course this was going to happen. Now that the 7 Lostbelts are gone, Chaldeus has become the foundation of human history. A celestial field for the preservation of humanity. That wall isn't meant to keep Chaldeus safe. It's a checkpoint intended to keep foreign elements out. The Antarctic Circle is not what's keeping you out. Proper human history itself is rejecting you. That voice. Coming from up on deck. That's Romani Archcoman. Marine, try to record what he's saying. Roger, pointing camera his way now. This is the domain of proper human history. None of you can enter it as you are now. I'll admit, even I didn't foresee this outcome. Over the course of this war, you have handled far too many things that simply do not exist in proper human history. Rulers, alter egos, avengers, all manners of service that don't belong to the 7 classes. Now, after you have spent so much time abusing these classes which do not exist, proper human history regards you as a foreign element. Until you can correct this imbalance, you'll never be able to set foot near Chaldeus. You cannot take those things. No, that's not right. You cannot take those servants with you into the time beyond 2019, not with your current understanding. Infinity, the gears within you no longer mesh. Why do these classes exist when, by rights, they shouldn't? What place do these weapons have in human history? Once you understand and accept the answers to those questions, you'll be foreign elements no longer. Turn your ship around, Novum Chaldea. There are places where you can correct the imbalances and atone for the sins you unknowingly committed. That is the duty you must fulfill now. Your Ordeal call. Once you have settled... He said the word! Once you have settled 4, no 3 imbalances, then the celestial spheres will see the light of day. You are sure to face parting as you walk this path. Be certain you are prepared for this. This message too has arrived at a conclusion. It looks like the mysterious figure was telling the truth. The barrier around Antarctica is kind of a self-purification mechanism, and we are the reason it is being created. As much as it pains me to say this, it seems that humanity currently sees us as criminals. Apparently, we ourselves are the ones preventing us from setting foot in the pure land of Antarctica. I knew it. This wasn't an attack, it was an alarm. Extra classes are meant for humans to handle. Extra classes are typically too much for humans to handle, and given all these servants from extra classes we've been using, of course humanity would reject us. I guess we've done the equivalent of using weapons banned by international law, and they were going out of style. We can't deny we're guilty as... sorry, probably wasn't the best example I could have picked. It's okay, Mynheer. I understand, thank you. Still, facts are facts. If Chaldeus was made with ill intention, even secretly, then of course someone will have to be held to account for the demi-servant experiments. I accept that, and I will let my own deeds demonstrate the rightness or wrongness of my creation. Even if creating me was wrong, there are still so many futures for us to choose from. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to receive the power to protect. Whatever you have to say about me, I'm certain this power isn't wrong, isn't evil. Yeah, damn straight it isn't. Well said, Light. But should anyone ever learn of this incident, it's clear you will all face serious consequences. Is there anything I can do for them? Anything to ensure these fools will be rewarded instead of punished? It's true, Director. Marisbury Chaldea was evil. But it's equally true that what came from it was undeniably good. The accident that happened during 2017 Racial experiment, along with everything that came afterwards, put an end to Director Marisbury Chaldea forever. Not just physically, but in spirit too. The only remaining staff were a dozen or so employees, all unaware of Marisbury's intentions. And Romani Arkamon, who felt a strong responsibility to stop the incineration of humanity. And that meant Chaldea became an entirely different organization than its founder intended. It became a place to preserve not one man's vision for the future, but a future imagined by many different people. And that's never going to change. Not now, not ever. If there's something wrong with us, we'll just fix it with the same courage and wisdom that brought us this far. That man said we have an imbalance, right? Then there must be points in time affected by this discrepancy, some distortions similar to singularities. So we're going to find them, prove our innocence, and then come back to the Antarctic. Hard to starboard, huh? As captain, I have no objections. Besides, I was just thinking we could stand to go back to some of the places we saw standing buildings and free supply. Very well. As I said earlier, I never expected this to be quite so simple. Do as you see fit. I can stick around a little longer. Speaking as an alchemist from the Atlas Institute, it hurts to hear that we are going to be treated like criminals because we have been relying on certain kinds of weapons. This would mean a third of the situation is my fault, correct? So I, of course, have no objections either. Transmitters 2 and I will continue to help you on your expedition. But it looks like our goalposts have been moved to a little further back than we were expecting. How are you feeling about all this, Infinity? Of course I want to keep going. Alright, then let's start exploring the world. We can think of this as getting all our ducks in a row before our showdown with Chaldeas. In fact, everything has worked out as desired, including the opportunity to resupply. That being said, we still have no idea what we'll find out there. We'll have to deal with the imbalances we've racked up over the course of our battles to date, and we'll have to face scrutiny of our mistakes from humanity itself. I hate to borrow that guy's wording, but I can't deny it's a fitting name for this mission. Operation Ordeal Call it is. Once we've overcome these new trials, we'll reach our final destination. She said the word! She said the word!
カルデアスは人類史の基礎、人理保障研究となった。ノーム・カルデアは反人類史にはないものを扱いすぎたせいで、そこから弾かれている。この歪みを補正しない限り、カルデアスには近づけない。自らの潔白を証明する。かつてない未知の探索であるのは間違いない。これまでの戦いで積み上がったとされる歪み、我々が向き合わなくてはならない人理の咎。本来ならありえないクラスとの開口。ルーラー、アベンジャー、アルターエゴ、果たすべき生産。一つ、秩序を担う裁定者。うつろな罪を自覚する巡礼の旅。一つ、永劫の復讐者。すべてを焼き尽くす恩衆の炎。一つ、自我から分かたれし別人格。己の内側に相対する。作戦名オーディールコール。この試練を乗り越えた先が我々の終着だ。なーに、私たちに問題があるなら今まで通り知恵と勇気で解決するだけさ。
Fun. Alright. Let's see. So I need to finish... Okay, it's 10:21, so the bad time to end the stream, because I do have... It is the weekend, so I have my 12-hour shifts. I think that's actually a good point to send it. So, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not really sure what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I do still have to do my X maps on Arc Knights. I don't know if people want to watch me do that, though. I might just do them at work. I'll figure it out when I get there. Yeah, I finished the Lostbelt. Thanks for the congrats. But, well, I'll try and figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow. I'll post it like on the Discord and on Twitter. So, until then, you have a good rest of your day. Have a great Easter weekend. I'll see ya later.